Hi dear learners, you are welcome back. Now we are going to start our lesson. In today's lesson we are going to learn about writing an article. So if you are ready and comfortable, we will start. So let's go. First of all, article. So this can be either formal or informal, and on a wide variety of topics. There are a number of things you should take into consideration before you write, while you write, and after you have finished writing. Now we will go deeper into writing an article, and we will talk about all the details one by one. So before you write, take a time to read the task instructions carefully and decide what to write and in which style. So at first you will have a topic to write about, and you will have to style. You will have to have a style in which you are going to express your opinions. So the next thing, ask yourself the following questions. What do I have to write about? Content. Who is the article for? A newspaper, or a formal magazine, or a blog? How many paragraphs am I going to write? So it's organization, What kind of language should I use? So language, grammar, I'm expected to use. So you will have to think about these things before you start noting your articles. So while you are writing, have into consideration that the articles have two main purposes: to inform or to entertain, to interest the reader. What's your purpose? To inform, either to entertain. Ideally, after going through your text, your readers should have the feeling that they have learned something, or at least that they have had a good time. It's always a good idea to start the article with an inviting title and a riveting introduction. Inviting, it means something attractive which will catch your attention, and riveting can be the same. It is fascinating. It will help to draw readers' attention. So while you are writing, and after you have written, or after you write, take your time to proofread. Proofread. You have to read it carefully in order to find mistakes you have made in spelling, maybe word choice or grammar. Check for spelling mistakes again and see if you have to make any corrections. And make sure that you have used a wide variety of words, and if you have find one that has been used more than once, replace it for a synonym. Synonym, this is a word which can be used instead of one word. For example, start can be replaced by begin or commence. And the realistic article should consist of, first of all, an eye-catching title which attracts the reader's attention and suggests the theme of the article. Think about why you read a magazine or newspaper article recently. What made you read it? Articles can also have subheadings before each paragraph. The next step, an introduction which clearly defines the topic to be covered and keeps the reader's attention. The main body of 2 to 5 paragraphs. You can write either 2 paragraphs or up to 5 paragraphs. Can be 3, 4, 5 paragraphs in which the topic is further developed in detail. You have to develop your ideas. The conclusion, summarizing the topic, and a final opinion or recommendation or comments. So planning is very important. You should have the planning process before you start writing. Here, remember, so where is the article going to appear? In a newspaper or in a magazine? In a public newspaper or in a scientific one? Who are the intended readers? A specific group such as students or teenagers or adults in general, and you should have the intended readers also. What is the main aim of the article? To advise, to suggest, to inform, to compare and contrast, describe. What's your aim? You should have the aim. For example, when you are writing a scientific article, your aim will be to inform, maybe. So the articles could be formal, semi-formal, and informal, and depending on your intended audience. So depending on your intended audience, you will have either formal if you're at university or just a professor or student, then it should be formal, or sometimes it can be semi-formal, but if it's public in general, then it can be informal. And use vocabulary and descriptive language appropriate for the article, linking words and expressions, and a wide variety of vocabulary will only improve your work and make it more interesting. It means you should have a good command of the language, the target language that you are writing the article. And this is a task for you, please, dear students. You should have to write about this thing. Have you studied abroad? A small article, and you have to submit it till next week, and I will check and I will share my impressions and opinions about your articles. So here is the topic: have you studied abroad? This is the topic of the article, and the questions you will have to take into consideration: have you spent time studying in another country? If we invite you, our readers, to submit an article on your experiences in that country to be included in our forthcoming series on living and studying abroad. Share your experiences with us. Tell us what you studied and about any difficulties you faced while you were there. Have you changed it as a result of this? So, briefly saying, you will have to write a short article about your life abroad. So this is all for today, dear students. If you have further questions, feel free to write to me and we will discuss it further in detail. And do not forget to submit your articles till next week. Have a good time. Bye.